Welcome back, everybody, to the LEC. We have another game coming up for you, and it is going to be an important one for Vitality. It is Vitality versus Astralis, and really, this is Vitality's playoff chances on the line. Now, they are not, as far as I'm aware, mathematically eliminated with a loss to Astralis, but it becomes significantly and realistically impossible for them if they do take this L.
Yeah, if you're Vitality, you really want to pick this win up against the last place team in the league to keep your playoff dreams alive.
Absolutely do. And we are going to start with that as we head to our picks and bans. So we will see you in just a moment. We're into Champion Select. Vitality need this win to keep those playoff dreams realistically alive. And I think, Foxy, they've been listening to you, mate. They have been listening to you. It is a Skarner ban against Zanzarah. I would not be 100% surprised to see a Hecarim ban unless they plan on taking that early rotation.
We've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million times until it stops being true. Zanzarah has not won a game, or Astralis have not won a game when Zanzarah has not been playing Skarner or Hecarim. So Skarner being taken away so far from that one. We have seen a bit of a kind of shift in play style, I would say, from Zanzarah's champion pool recently, but it hasn't really paid off for them. His Olaf specifically has left a bit to be desired, but as we've been speeding through these first wave of bans right here, Ro has been taken off. There's the Hecarim hover. We actually saw that in LCS quite a lot, by the way. So with Kobe here on the desk, maybe he can break that down a little bit more as well. But that Hecarim first pick with Turbo Chem Tank, really strong right now, and a great takeaway from Zanzarah as well.
Yeah, and I'm really glad to see a team banning Rel. She is like super high priority. But look at this from Astralis. A Kai'Sa and Orianna pick. MagiFelix is going to be getting his hands on the Orianna.
Yeah, and Jeskla's very good on that Kai'Sa as well. Definitely can carry from that position. We just saw Hansam have a great game on it too. Already you've got some pretty good tools here for your team fight if you want to do a potentially front to back comp here from the side of Astralis. Let's see what Vitality answer with. It's going to be that Gnar lock-in for Szygenda there, which is interesting because there's no real pressure to pick your top laner right now. But having said that, if you do want to get both your solos on 2-3 on blue, I've heard that that's pretty good now. No, jungle 1, solos 2-3. We'll see if that's what Vitality go to do at the end of the day. That Gnar, of course, very strong solo blind pick, excuse me, in that solo lane. Doesn't really have any terrible matchups, so easily get away with that one. And there he is, Udyr, finally. We're actually going to see him being played.
Despite the nerfs on 11.5, as you mentioned, it is going to be locked in for Zanzarah. Kind of suits the playstyle that we've seen from Zanzarah recently. He is a very heavy farming jungler, and so we'll get, I would say, a relatively comfortable pickup for him in that particular lock-in. But the Corki gets taken away from the Milica here. And of course, as you said, Szygenda, who has been a really strong part of Vitality's wins, will get his hands on that now.
We'll see what else Astralis decide to go for the bans here, because you would think they would want to focus on Milica and his mid lane pool, but there are still a lot of mid laners, good mid laners that are up and available. You've got the Azir, you've got the Syndra, obviously, as well. So we'll see. Ooh, the Tristana. Okay, so yeah, that's a really tough one for Orianna to play against, but as I mentioned, still some good options here from Elite, so you won't be too worried about that. And let's see what they try and take away here from WhiteKnight. It looks like that is the focus right now. Just getting rid of all of the annoying matchups for Gnar here.
Wouldn't be too surprised to see a Camille. I mean, I don't know if WhiteKnight is the kind of player that would rock a Camille, but it is going to be the Sion taken away here. Then Sion has been seeing a lot of priority from a lot of teams over the course of the last few weeks, and that is something that WhiteKnight has and will play. And Jeskla will lock in the Rakan for Astralis. So promisq is going to be on the Rakan. Now, does that indicate that you maybe have to pick up Xayah here? That might be the case for Crownshot.
Well, I mean, you've got Kai'Sa already picked on Astralis, so
oh, yeah, it's true.
I think you're relatively safe on that one. But I mean, you might not be wrong, because I would be a good pick here anyway. So You're right, but
I'm right, but not for the wrong reasons.
You're right. You're right.
I'm right.
We'll focus on that.
I will take the reparatory W. So I'm going to take it, and we're going to pretend like I never said that. And it is Seraphine. Wait, we're distracting with the pink hair. Seraphine, go.
Yes, Seraphine in that mid lane there for Milica. Okay, so now I want to see for Astralis. I wouldn't be surprised to see like an Ornn or something locked in the top side, something tanky. I think you've got a pretty good front to back comp here. You know, you've got your carries in that Kai'Sa, some Orianna as well, and then just looking for that setup. We'll see what he decides to go for WhiteKnight here, who has been a bit of a sleeper player, I would say, in the top side for Astralis. I think a little bit underrated, actually, as far as his contribution to Astralis' victories go. It's going to be that Renekton locked in, so a pretty volatile top side. They will need a little bit of help from that Udyr in the early lane phase. Wouldn't be surprised to see that be Zanzarah's focus.
Okay, what are we expecting from these two comps before we head into game? Like, how do we expect them to win the game?
Well, like I say, for Astralis, I would imagine it's going to be a top focus, like Udyr into Renekton, try and help him out against that Gnar. And from the side of Vitality, I think you're more happy with kind of scaling up a little bit. I think when you've got Seraphine, Hecarim as a combo is actually disgusting. Vitality just want to run into you. You know, they're gonna run into you, and they're gonna not die. Basically, is the aim of the game. So, wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, 1 or 2 items go through for them before they really start trying to make things happen.
This is an important game for Vitality. They need this win against Astralis to realistically keep their playoff dreams alive. Let's see if they can do it. We are on to the Rift. Vitality versus Astralis. It doesn't mean anything for Astralis, but for Vitality it is important, as we said. This will keep their playoff dreams alive heading through this Super Week if they do pick up the win versus our bottom place team.
And just going for a bit of a flashback between Vitality and Astralis when they first met this split, actually was one of Astralis' 3 wins. So Vitality definitely looking to get some revenge on that one as well, especially, as you say, very important for playoffs and all that lovely business. Let's take a look, see here, and what the junglers decide to do at level 1. We're seeing no surprise here from the Udyr, going to go for the top side start, like the red side start here. Also matched by Hecarim, these champions with their AoE clearing, definitely looking to do that one. But Vitality, this is what's really interesting here, is Vitality is actually going to give a leash over to Hecarim. Now, Hecarim doesn't need a leash, but it definitely powers up that first early clear. So we'll see, like, whether Skeanz with that should be able to get, you know, a bit of a pace over here on Zanzarah, who otherwise, you know, might fall behind a little bit early against Udyr as far as clear speeds go, because Udyr is just, I mean, Udyr is just something else. Yeah,
he obviously had the Phoenix stance nerfed on this patch, so it's one of those things that will slightly slow his clear down, but you're expecting an Udyr to clear fast regardless of that situation. So Zanzarah will go for Krugs. Looks like he's potentially going for a full topside clear, maybe looking to get that bottom scuttle. Last time we kind of focused on Zanzarah's pathing, he actually got double scuttled in his game on Olaf. I'm hoping we don't see that again from him.
I think he got double scuttled in both games. I could be wrong there, but both Olaf games that I saw, it was not ideal for him. Definitely going to look to try and change that one up. Udyr has to be one of the best scuttlers in the game. I think, you know, with that bear stance, you get rid of the shield, and then with your target stance, you just melt scuttle crabs. So I think it's really hard to not get at least one scuttle if you are playing Udyr. I'm interested as well. He is going to go more for a full clear style play right here. I was wondering whether he'd actually go for a top gank, because I do think, you know, I mean, there's a big minion wave building up for WhiteKnight in the top side, which always kind of dissuades early action, because you don't want to lose those minions even if you are getting a gank. But, you know, we'll see when he decides to kind of go to this top side, because I do think it's going to be important for him if he wants to kind of let WhiteKnight be able to play some League of Legends this game, which I hear is pretty good, actually, for top laners.
Yeah, and Szygenda already has kind of like the edge, as you'd expect. The range versus melee matchup can be difficult unless WhiteKnight is looking for an all-in. And actually, something that we've kind of talked about has been the impact that Szygenda has had. Like, for the first 6 weeks of the LEC, Szygenda was really, I would say, underperforming, realistically. He was really underperforming, but he had a banger week 7. He really did. Like, you see from weeks 1 to 6 compared to week 7 here, Foxy, Szygenda stepped up when Vitality needed it.
He massively stepped up, and a lot of this as well is because he had the freedom to step up. Junglers weren't camping his lane anymore, so he was able to just play up and not get punished as much. And that's really like credit to Szygenda for being able to do that. Obviously, like he just really stepped up last week, and if you want to make this miracle run to playoffs, you need to have that kind of consistent performance out of him, but also give credit to the rest of Vitality to be able to draw threat across the map so that you can justify. Or you're forcing other teams' junglers to not go to your top side, So Szygenda does get a bit more breathing room there and is able to pop off a bit harder.
Looks like Skeanz will be spotted out on his Krugs, but obviously Zanzarah and Skeanz are right now absolutely mirroring each other. Like, we are literally seeing a jungle mirror pathing. Both full clears into Scuttle, back into the Krugs. These guys are just power farming the early jungle.
No huge surprise from a Hecarim and an Udyr, but I will say, Udyr does have that better early game if you're going to compare the two. We'll see if he decides to do something with that. He is pathing towards mid side. promisq's here as well.
Are we going to see a flash blare snap from Zanzarah? We will, and there comes the knock-up from promisq, but they haven't got the follow-up right now. MagiFelix was not there. And Skeanz will come to save the day. He is taken low, but it is an aggressive play in the mid lane from Astralis that forces out a couple of summoners.
Very aggressive right there, and a good run from promisq on this Rakan, who's a great playmaking champion, to be in the mid side right there to assist on that play. Chunking out the jungler and the mid laner is going to lead to this dragon as well. Udyr, one of the reasons why he's so strong, just what he can control in the jungle, from his camps to the ganks to the objectives. And this is going to be first a dragon for Astralis. Yeah, that gank burnt some summoners and gave the space, as you said, for Zanzarah to go for this first dragon of the game, as you'd expect. That is especially on red side Udyr's territory, and he will get that with relative ease. Now you can see Milica is here. Now he will have to be careful. The teleport coming through. Labrov does get knocked up by the grand entrance and will get bear slapped too. He will be forced to flash away, but WhiteKnight's here. First blood for him on the Renekton. There are some heavy top and bot roams coming out from Astralis. They are playing through MagiFelix. And it's all happening in the mid lane today in the LEC. That's first blood going down over against Labrov, who really just wanted to help Milica. He just wanted to help get that push in. But a great roam there by WhiteKnight, who gets the first blood as well. But promisq's going in. Level 5 on Crownshot. A great side set right there, popping the hill for the move speed. Wow, that was spicy.
That was a very aggressive flash grand entrance from promisq as well. Considering Jeskla is so low, now Skeanz coming in, trying to catch out Jeskla, but they will be able to back off, and Skeanz won't be able to make that that play happen. Doesn't have the onslaught of shadows yet, so the gank potential is a little
it's
lower.
happening again, isn't it? It is happening again.
It's happening again because the shockwave comes through. Oh no, Milica! This is disaster! Zanzarah picks up the kill, and oh my word, they are actually giving MagiFelix attention in the mid lane, and it is paying dividends.
2 kills early on in the mid lane. Does that remind you of another game that we perhaps maybe just watched? Really well done there by Astralis. They were doing their homework. You can tell before they loaded into the Rift, they were watching our previous game. Yeah, that is going to be 2 kills over as well. 2 assists, I should say, over to MagiFelix. So he's not going to get as much gold in his pocket, but he is an Orianna, so he doesn't care too much about that. Like, he still has a lot of kind of team play about him. And I do think, honestly, having a kill onto your top and jungle, when that top and jungle is Renekton and Udyr, really, really helps you out, because I think these are champions that can snowball pretty hard.
Actually, do you remember last week when we had the Astralis game, we were talking a little bit about MagiFelix's stats in the LEC thus far, and the 2 really big standout stats that came through from MagiFelix were he had the lowest jungle proximity. We've got to be a little careful here, promisq does get locked up, but it shouldn't result in an engage. He has the lowest jungle proximity, so that means the lowest attention from his jungle, and he has the highest enemy jungle proximity, as in he gets giga camped like all the time. This is a change of pace for Astralis.
Yeah, it is. They're making a bit of a U-turn here on their play style in that mid, and that's to me, what's so interesting about this, obviously it's working out so far, but now we get to watch MagiFelix and see what he does from this kind of position. Because he has a pretty big lead in this mid side here, and we'll see whether he can keep that pressure up, whether they can keep playing through mid. You know, the most important thing about having a mid lane that's ahead is it means you get perma priority in that mid. Like, you can constantly push because you're stronger than the opposing mid, and when you do that, you open up a lot of the map for plays like this Rift Herald, which the Astralis are going for, but Vitality you don't want to give away for free.
You can see Skeanz is here. Now, I did see promisq roam up, but he has made his way back down towards the bottom side. That will be Zanzarah picking this one up. He gets locked in by Skeanz in the pit, but I think Zanzarah... Oh, no, he doesn't have flash. Oh, Zanzarah's just going to say, screw it. We're gonna take our L, but we have the Rift Herald.
I think all in all that's worth it. You know, you just get a speedy recall, no problem there, and you get to pick up the Rift Herald still. So we'll see. Rift Herald almost always gives you at least 2 plates, which is like 320 gold. So losing a life for Herald isn't too bad at the end of the day. And we saw, you know, I was just talking about mid pro and how important that was to open up the map so you can make plays. Well, Szygenda in this top side has perma top pro with this matchup on Gnar, so was able to collapse right there and punish Zanzarah as he went for that Herald.
Now, Skeanz did go and search for the Krugs, but they hadn't yet respawned, so he will just attempt to take something from Zanzarah. You've got to take the small advantages where you can get them, and Skeanz will pick up the chickens and will walk out the jungle with a little bit of counter jungling in his back pocket. But Zanzarah doesn't mind. He's just going to clear his bot side jungle, and you know, again, as he said, relatively happy with just taking the Rift Herald for that play. Honestly, it's so weird to see Astralis kind of coming online. Like, this game doesn't mean anything to them. Like, they can't get into playoffs. They are guaranteed locked into the bottom of the table here in the LEC. But they could definitely ruin the Vitality party if Vitality can't shape up and kind of get back into this game. Look, Vitality aren't out of this game by a long stretch, but it is a good start for Astralis.
Yeah, absolutely. Some might say a game like this for Astralis is somewhat counter logic, even, perhaps. But it is a good start for them right here, 500 gold in the lead. And I'm just keeping my eyes on Zanzarah at this point, because that's where the next thing is going to happen. There it is, right? So he had the Rift Herald. I wanted to see what he's going to do with that. He's just going to slap it down, and they're going to go for these plates, funneling even more resources into MagiFelix. The problem with this, or a downside of this right here, is that you're off tempo a little bit for the Dragon Spawn, but we're going to have some action in the bot side. We have got Zanzarah here with Skeanz. Now, Crownshot's taking a bit of damage. No major engages going to be forced by either team. However, you know, even though they used that Rift Herald a little early, it looks like they are in a good position to just go straight for this Drake. Yeah, there's nothing that Vitality are going to be able to do about this one. Good roam here as well from WhiteKnight to make that happen. He doesn't have his teleport, so we figured he'd have to do the old Peasant's TP, which is using your feet, coming all the way down there from top side. But he will lose, you know, I think he had a good push in, so he'll lose like maybe 1 or 2 waves there, some plates as well. But all in all, you know, 2 dragons this early on does set up for quite an early soul if Astralis can keep this pace going. Yeah, they just need to keep the pressure on. Now, the gold lead is starting to narrow again. Vitality are getting their way back into it. A lot of that, I'm assuming, coming through Szygenda in the top side with those plates that he picked up as well. He has got a bit of a CS advantage. You can see in the gold, he is around 500 up on WhiteKnight right now. WhiteKnight has been he's going for it.
He gets it. Oh, that's game over.
Game over. It's done. Yeah, hate to see it, mate. Yo, I am tilted for him, Zanzarah, mate. I feel you. That sucks. Good steal right there from Szygenda, though. He's going to extend that gold lead that he already had. Skeanz is coming up here. Zanzarah's hovering. He's thinking about it, but man, this is the power of Gnar into melee champions. If you're in mini Gnar, you just do that. And also that, I think it's Frostbound Axe. I'm actually not 100% sure what that item's called, but I'm pretty sure that gives you move speed when you're bopping people, so it allows you to just keep up. Yeah, you know what? We got it in here. Onslaught of Shadows straight on to Zanzarah, who just get thrown to the side. The shockwave's pretty good though onto Skeanz. We've got a full-on brawl as Szygenda gnars the team away. A desperation play to try and keep Skeanz alive, but Flash Bear Slap comes through. Zanzarah will pick up another, and that is another little win for Astralis. Man, Quickshot must be in shambles watching this game. All these flash bear slaps he's missing out on. Zanzarah doing a good job right here on that Udyr to make it happen. We're going to see how this one starts off again. So this is actually a 4v4, but I don't think Vitality know that promisq was lurking in the shadows right there. And because you have that advantage in the mid side, MagiFelix is able to get a good shockwave off. really just turns the fight in your favor. Whereas a strong member from Vitality is Szygenda, and he wasn't able to have nearly as much impact in that fight.
Had to use a very defensive Gnar as well, so he couldn't like actually find a big engage to kind of turn the tide of the fight. He basically had to use it to shove Astralis away, and Astralis, you know, when you got an Udyr, you just run real fast, dude. Doesn't matter if you get thrown back a little bit, you just run real fast. But Szygenda's still in a strong spot on this top side of the map. Like, where was this Astralis, though? Like, the heavy roam from promisq, WhiteKnight joined the fights. Where was this Astralis all those weeks ago? Because we're seeing a new side to them.
I actually think it's been quite impressive out of our bottom teams here in the LEC. The past few weeks, I think they've looked fairly good. You know, like Vitality and Astralis, you know, both these teams were looking kind of lost, I would say, with their games. But maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, they really did kind of turn it on. I think these teams, you know, they're rosters that have talent. You know, they do have good players on their team, and sometimes, you know, it just takes a while for all of that to kind of materialize, for you to find your synergy between your teammates. You know, recently I have been impressed with the way that they've been playing. And, you know, so far Astralis, who don't have a particularly strong early game, are able to find that coming out of some good plays around that mid side early on.
Now, a couple of other objectives spawning relatively soon. I really feel like I would guess Astralis' sort of key to victory, to keep the gas on, I guess, if you suppose, is just to keep farming these neutral objectives, forcing Vitality to have to respond. And there are big mythics picked up now for Astralis as well. Like, there is a good time to fight, like especially around this second Rift Herald, and of course in the next Drake at 1 minute 30 away. So there is some big item spikes picked up for Astralis that they can utilize to their advantage over the next couple of minutes.
And speaking of items as well, I'm going to keep my eye on Crownshot's build here, because we saw this from, I can't remember who it was specifically, but the no mythic Xayah build is in full swing right here. Zanzarah speeding his way in top.
He is, and he's already forced the flash out Szygenda, who's stuck in mini-Gnar form. WhiteKnight picks up the kill. Zanzarah, 100% kill participation. This is a guy who has generally been so quiet in the jungle, and when the game means absolutely diddly squat, he's popping off.
Yeah, that's the power of Udyr, man. You can try enough Udyr if you want, but it's not going to happen. I wanted to see a bit more around playing around this top side, and finally they do it. You know, that chem tank plus bear stance plus phase rush plus blue smite. My goodness, you ain't getting away from that. And you know what? I think that's quite important as well. Give some love to the top side of the map here. Get WhiteKnight some golden experience, because he is in a very hard matchup as it is against Szygenda right there. So it's going to help him out a lot.
Now, promisq took a little bit of a beating from Crownshot right there. But it is actually, this time, Vitality that have set up on the Drake. This obviously would be the third Drake. It is worth contesting. That's the sole point that becomes activated for Zanzarah. Sorry, let's say Zanzarah. He's the guy who's going to be slapping Drake, obviously. But for Astralis, if they do get it, and it looks like Vitality are keen to at least try and make this hard for Astralis. But WhiteKnight, again, look at him. He's roamed down. He's not bothered about his lane. He just wants to force these objectives.
And I think that's smart, honestly, because like if you get this dragon here, you set up for a really early soul. Gonna force out this TP from Gnar. We should see a big old 5v5 around this dragon.
Ooh, Jeskla onto Crownshot right now. He's taking him very low as the Gale Force has been used. And Crownshot forced back under tower. 5% HP or thereabouts. And as you said, it is big, because Astralis can now start this dragon. And I don't think Vitality want anything to do with it.
Yeah, Vitality is just going to walk away from this one. Okay, so it is the third dragon at 16 minutes over to Astralis. That is pretty perfect right there. I also do want to highlight WhiteKnight just in general with his map movements, because Renekton as a champion is someone you want to get stuff done early. You want to get that stuff like transition the early into the mid, and your scaling isn't quite so good. And the fact that you've been able to get, he's been there for the last 2 dragons to just secure it, you know, like he's not really giving Vitality much of a chance. And I just think that's really impressive, considering, you know, he's going up against Gnar. He's not having the most fun of times in that mid lane, as it looks like he's actually going to lose that tower, and that will be first blood tower going over to Szygenda.
But they cross map, they trade for a tower on the bottom side of the map. They maintain a relatively solid early gold lead here. And actually, Crownshot, he may be the target of another engage. There comes the Featherstorm, the flash, but he will get caught out, charmed up, slapped by the bear, and Crownshot drops Zanzarah 3, 1, and 2 on this Udyr. They will obviously give up Rift Herald on the other side of the map, but damn, Astralis, can you calm down, lads?
Astralis are just making it happen. Like, we know Xayah is a champion that has some fairly good disengage, but there is no disengaging away from that one. take a look at these goal differences. It's pretty much across the board right here. Obviously, Szygenda having a bit of an advantage topside, but to me, the biggest surprise here is Zanzarah on the Udyr. Like, sure, Hecarim is a champion that, you know, as the game gets on, I feel like he becomes more useful in more group-up scenarios, like team fights and whatnot. He also has really good setup with the Seraphine. I think that works really well with each other. Support-style champions plus Hecarim tends to be a very juicy combo. But as far as we go right now, Zanzarah, you know, he has that advantage, and he's been doing really, really well. And I'm mega impressed with the way that he's been playing. Before I let you speak, Excoundrel, I just want to say something here, because it's only going to get better for Zanzarah, right? He's got the Orianna ball for these team fights, yeah? He's going to stick that on his head, he's going to get the dissonance, bam, he's got the zoomies. Now, promisq on that Rakan, one of the great things about Rakan is he's one of the few engaged champions that can itemize into Shurelias, right? We don't see a lot of Shurelias. And looking at these items right here, the promisq's going for, I would be surprised if that's not a Shurelias battle song. Can you imagine? Look at all that stuff. This guy's going to be a 1,000,000-mile-an-hour Udyr, and when he's this far ahead already, that's disgusting.
He's going to break the land speed record in a game of League of Legends. Keep an ear out, guys. You might hear a sonic boom in this game, and it'll just be Zanzarah running real quick.
Just pressing his buttons.
Just pressing his buttons, dude. But I think, you know, clearly the focus for Astralis will be snowballing these objectives, the Soul coming up relatively soon. But for Vitality, like, how do they get back into this? How do they get to a point where they are, I guess, looking to execute on their win conditions?
I mean, what's in your sights right now for Vitality is 2 minutes, 8 seconds, Cloud Soul. Now, Cloud Soul isn't the most impactful soul in the world, but you do not want to fall behind a Dragon Soul this early on. Like, all Dragon Souls are strong, it's just some are stronger than others, right? And so I think that's really, like, regardless of what your optimal game plan is right now, you want to get up, you want to have the best setup for this Dragon so that you can deny it away, right? So whether that comes down to, you know, having some good resets, which then lead to some good positioning, so you can get some good lane prio.
Crownshot, I mean,
in a lot of trouble.
Jeskla's just jumped under the turret here. They're going to get the knockup. That will be the kill. And now it'll be Jeskla probably in trouble. He gets charmed up and does drop to Milica. They've traded 1-for-1 overall. Labrov now also taking a lot of beating from MagiFelix. We have a flank coming through from Skeanz. He's being focused away, though, and that is a big engage coming through. They're going to take down promisq. They're going to try and trade back onto Labrov, who's taken low, and MagiFelix will pick up the kill. A 2-for-2 overall in the blue side jungle.
Yeah, but Vitality were able to knock down that mid-tier 1 and get a charge on the mid-tier 2. So having that mid-tower down makes it a bit easier here to, as I was mentioning, set up for this next dragon, which will be happening in a minute's time, because you can get a deeper push in. And when you have that mid-push, you can then move into the jungle, move into the river, get that vision down, sweep the vision as well, and then find yourself in a favorable position for that dragon. So we're going to see this one start off. Look at Crownshot, by the way, his E. Right here. You see that? That's crucial. Now, he's used his Blade Cooler. He's used that E, so that now, when Jeskla jumps in and he's got all those feathers down, he can't use the E to kill Jeskla. And that's pretty big right there. That means that he's just going to fall without getting that trade kill. And now it's just a bit of an extended one right here. I mean, Skeanz with a good flank. Not going to talk about the shockwave there from MagiFelix, and I'm sure he'll thank me for that one. But yeah, just a bit of a crazy play right here. Honestly, all things considered, throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Vitality.
Now, of course, if you said 12 seconds to go until that soul spawns, this is a big pivotal moment for Astralis. They want to find the fight and potentially start to snowball this game even further. Vitality are not out of it. I mean, the gold lead is still rather minimal. Yes. We're only looking at about 2,000. They still have a very strong 5v5 team fight. The layering of ADC that this team can accomplish is very big, and that's a lot of damage, though, immediately onto Szygenda. As he gets the engage from Labrov. Labrov locked up. And they're going in straight for the fight. That is a huge amount of damage. They get the shutdown onto a Zanzarah. That is absolutely nutty. And I think this may be denying the soul.
Yeah, I reckon so. I don't think Astralis have anything to do right here. They're going to dip away from that one. Good contest there from Vitality. They pick up that kill onto Zanzarah. It was looking a little bit hairy, I'm not going to lie, but Szygenda there, which is really important here. He managed to charge his Gnar bar from doing chickens as well. Like, he got a little bit there, so he turned into Mega Gnar, a really nice time, which also means that Astralis are going to have to back away from that one. But still, he's got his flash. He's got things up. This is a bit ballsy here from Astralis. I think right here, you're just going to not really be able to pick that one up. I'm a bit surprised. Well, you know what? I respect it, mate. I respect it. It's aggressive. It's a little bit greedy, but hey, it's aggressive. And yeah, we all love some aggressive plays.
Oh, Zanzarah, though, coming in onto Skeanz. And he may get caught out here as WhiteKnight's found the flank. The bear slap comes through. I think they take him down. Skeanz doesn't have that ultimate to get out either. He will drop. Zanzarah picks up another kill. Now, I think this might be a bit risky to go for Baron, but they are pinging it.
Yeah, okay. This is going to be interesting right here because I think this is it's risky, as you say, to go for it, but I could also see a team being ham enough to fancy it. They might be, yeah, they're all in position here. Okay, so this is risky because death timers are still kind of low, but it is a 4v5. What can Vitality do?
Oh, Szygenda gets away with the little hop. promisq will not find the engage, and WhiteKnight has popped his ultimate too. I think Vitality have done enough to dissuade Astralis.
And that is all the Vitality had to do right there, because Astralis, you know, if you want to dedicate onto that Baron, that is risky, right? Like, you don't have a lot of damage. Skeanz will respawn relatively soon, and you're not really that far ahead, right? So it's, yeah, going for the itself would have been tough, but you can use it, you know, as a little worm on the hook to try and get Vitality to go for a play. But, you know, perfectly played there for Vitality, stopping the Baron and not losing anything for themselves.
Obviously, we're now heading towards sort of 25 minutes into the game. We are looking towards the later game becoming a reality for both of these teams. Do you think this favors one team or the other, like the late game being sort of strong for both, or like who do you think that favors?
I think that's a really interesting question because I think it totally depends on the setup of the fights. promisq here, though, is going to get a little bit caught out, but should be able to... Oh, no, he's done. Labrov is going to flash punch him, and that's it. He's locked up. He's taken out. All right, free kill over there to Vitality. They can be very happy about that one.
Oh my word, look how fast he is! He's so fast! Straight onto Jeskla, and he's going to be taken down very low. Now Jeskla forced to use the Gale Force and the ultimate to try and pop away from the fight. Now Zanzarah trying to buy some time as well. That is a little bit too much for Skeanz. Now MagiFelix is in the area. They have stopped the engage, but that was a gosh damn fast pony. He was super fast.
Mate, you think Hecarim's fast? You wait until everything happens for Udyr right here. That is going to be, oh man, I can't wait to see that. Of course, yeah, the benefit of Hecarim over Udyr is that Hecarim can jump over walls, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be like quite as fast, but still, yeah, it was a good pick onto promisq, and Jeskla almost getting picked out there. And do I have time now to answer your question about expectations as we head on into these team fights and later on into the game? Maybe I do. Okay, I'm going to talk anyway, and that usually means I'm going to get cut off, so we'll see. But I honestly think, you know, it's easier for Astralis to play their fights because you have Renekton, you have Udyr in the front side. You create like zone of control with the Orianna and the Rakan, like threatening from those engages, and then you just have a lot of damage on the backside as well with the Orianna and Kai'Sa combo. From Vitality, on the other hand, though, if they can get that really neat setup, specifically if they get that engage onto the backline from Skeanz, if Skeanz gets that fear off, that massive AoE fear, and then you're able from Milica to like follow up with your own abilities. If I'm not mistaken, a fear, by the way, if you land Seraphine's E when someone's feared, it turns that E into a stun, which is pretty nutty when you can then follow it up with your own ulti as well. Like, I think it really just depends who gets the jump. If Vitality get a jump, then they'll have the advantage. But Astralis is a much more traditional team fighting comp.
Yeah, I think a lot of it also comes down to a little bit to setup on these fights. Like, some teams always say, like, oh, I prefer to be the team that's engaging on the setup, but Labrov almost getting caught out here by Zanzarah will have the ability to get away with his ultimate if needs be, and Zanzarah now, I mean, he has to force a flash away. There's the Onslaught Shadows bringing him back into the fight, and Zanzarah taken low. The Blade Caller is there. That's huge damage, and Milica picks up the first kill. Now WhiteKnight there. Jeskla on the backline. Jeskla still going, but he gets charged down by the pony, and MagiFelix is doing his best with WhiteKnight to try and claw back something in this team fight. It is a 3 versus 2, but MagiFelix is alive, and so is WhiteKnight. That is one damn tanky crocodile. He's going for the triple. He's going for the quadra. Come on, lads. Let him have it. WhiteKnight's going for it. Quadra kill for Renekton. Give him the penta. Get over the wall, WhiteKnight. Get Szygenda. Go for the penta, you absolute madman. Penta kill. Oh, yes.
He's already done it! Astralis, what kind guy is gifted over that pentakill? WhiteKnight, yes! I'm so happy for this guy right now.
It's on a Renekton! It's a pentakill on Renekton! Like, that just doesn't happen!
If I'm not mistaken, that generally might be our first pentakill of the LEC this split. I could be wrong, but I think you're right. Somewhat...
I think you're right. I think that's the first pentakill of the LEC this year. Yeah.
Mate, Let's go, man. That fight was mega entertaining. even without the pentakill, that fight was just something else. It was so backwards and forward. Yeah, yes. Oh my goodness. All right, this is going to be a fun replay. So look at this here. Zanzarah, mate. Little bit too far forward. Yes, you're tanky. Yes, you're zooming. But Labrov, not really a priority target. And he's got a lot of friends. Now, when you're in this choke point right here, it should favor Vitality. When you have the Blade Caller from Xayah and you have Milica as well. But Milica kind of whiffed his ulti. So at this point, it's more just like a free-for-all. Trading kills and like everyone, genuinely like everyone's just getting kills here. But Renekton absolutely thrives in this situation. Seriously, like in these small skirmishes with his ultimate up, which is allowing him to get like mega fury here as well. Obviously fury empowering those abilities is what really gets him this pentakill. And you listen, Szygenda, mate, you are a nice guy. Wait, are you? I mean, I just don't think he has a choice, to be honest. He's trying his hardest. He's trying his hardest. He tried, man. But the pentakill for WhiteKnight, you just can't stop it. He's too big, man. He's too big.
Mate, look at, oh my god, we're going for Baron now as well. We're going for Baron. The sad thing is, like, Astralis are not even, like, massively in the, I know. Oh my gosh. I need to calm down. I need to calm down because we've got another fight. And my voice is kind of ruined now. Skeanz going for the engage. Maybe looking to get a bit of revenge onto WhiteKnight in that front line, but they're going in. That's a big knock-up now as well. The Milica does get the good charm, as you said. Now that's going to be 2 kills over to the side of Vitality. WhiteKnight's going for it. Look at him! Look at him go! Absolute beast on this Renekton, but it is now WhiteKnight and Jeskla versus the world. MagiFelix is down, but WhiteKnight wants it. He's going into Crownshot. He gets the stun. Can he get the heal? He's getting kited away. Our man with the pentakill being forced out of the fight as he gets slowed up. Surely dropping here as though Jeskla now will give up his life. A hero's exit for WhiteKnight, but Vitality win the fight.
It was looking like he was going to do it again. I saw him coming in. He was looking huge. But the kiting power from Vitality in that one, just enough to keep him at bay. And I think the two really important things right here, the most important one has to be Milica with his setup on that ulti, able to actually find some good targets there, which is really, really nice. But, you know, for Vitality here, you just lost that last team fight, right? So being able to take a team fight W, really, really important, especially around the Baron area. You now have, like, some time to maybe go and set your own kind of vision down, get your own control in this river area. And it looks like that's what Labrov is going to do right here. Take away some of these, get rid of some of this vision. There it is. There's a sad little ward that's actually going to survive. Oh, happy little ward. Never mind. I take it back.
Vitality have got control of the Baron pit, though. I mean, Astralis still are in, you know, not exactly a commanding position in this game. They need to find a way to get onto this Baron quickly, though. It is Labrov zoning out. They are taking the Baron down quickly. Zanzarah gets knocked over the wall. That's not where you want to be. He gets charmed up, and promisq is now in the pit by himself. That is 2 members surely going to drop. And this is disaster. Absolute disaster for Astralis. WhiteKnight, the hero, coming in. Wait, did WhiteKnight get that?
No,
oh my, no, he didn't.
Almost.
Oh my word, so close. It's actually going to be Xayah that picks it up. WhiteKnight buying time for MagiFelix and Jeskla to get in the fight as he jumps in. That is initial stun onto Szygenda. They are still fighting this. They still have the damage, but they will be forced to back away. It is going to be the... Oh, no, Jeskla wants it. Mate, you're a bit too mad. You're a bit too mad. Just calm down. Calm down.
Being forced to walk away, Jeskla heard you, mate, and he slapped down that ulti and he jumped right in. But at the end of the day, it is going to be Vitality with that Red Bull Baron power play. The way that Labrov played this, by the way, was actually really smart. And I don't know whether we'll get a replay of that one, because I thought we'd get a replay of the last fight. However, we just have so much action in this game that we don't have time for any replays. So there we go. We're going to get this one. Look what he does to Zanzarah. He bops him in the pit. Now, this might look like a really risky play, putting the enemy jungler in the Baron pit. But because of the communication from Vitality here, they know they can just burn down the jungler. Then they get the support there as well. And all in all, in this position, this is where it's...
Oh, it's so close.
My goodness. I just... Oh, God. And see it like... So I was going to pray, well, I still am going to praise Vitality for the way they played it, but my goodness, that was close.
I got to give credit to Vitality. They need this win. Like, this is their playoff dreams. If they want to get into playoffs, they need to take the win convincingly here in the late stages of the game with this Baron power play. They are pushing down mid. Maybe looking to get an inhibitor turret as Astralis are out of position. I don't think Astralis is going to get there to defend this one. As the demolish comes through, WhiteKnight on the front line, and they will lose a turret here. promisq maybe looking for it. Zanzarah goes in, flash bear slap into Crownshot, but immediately backed out. Here comes the Hecarim on the front line. Now WhiteKnight in the back, straight there with Jeskla. This is a good fight for Astralis, but Jeskla is not out of the fight just yet. Now it's going to be WhiteKnight locked up. Zanzarah will get the bear slap onto Szygenda. And my word, I can't even tell you. I have no idea what's going on in these fights. I'm still in awe of the pentakill. They're going to go for Labrov here. Zanzarah will get the pickup. I mean, MagiFelix will get the kill. And honestly, Astralis still fighting.
Yeah, slightly better setup this time for Astralis. They were able to run down into Vitality. Now, Vitality and that backside are pretty squishy. So they're able to get a nice combo off there and win that team fight. Now, something that I find absolutely hilarious when you're watching these big team fights is there's so many just like, you know, Renekton's huge with his ulti, Gnar's huge with his ulti, you got stone plates going through, you got this fat horse galloping in the middle, and then there's just this one fake animal bear man who's just waddling around, slapping people about, but that's sometimes all that you need. It's all you need to win a team fight, it's all that you need to get the Elder Dragon as well. So take a look at the setup for this fight right here, and specifically Milica, because Milica does get a little bit caught here. This is almost a really good shockwave, but still, not the perfect shockwave from MagiFelix, but look at that. There it is. That's just beautiful. The perfect combo right there. WhiteKnight dashing in, everyone following up. But look at Zanzarah. Look at him! He's tiny! What's that about? He's just this tiny little fake bear running around, but he's making it happen, man. Udyr not the most useful champion in team fights, but obviously the MVP of that one.
And that lined up with the Elder Dragon spawn as well. Like, I think crucially, something that you just saw taken before that replay was that lined up with about 30 seconds to go into Elder Dragon spawn, and Astralis got that completely uncontested. Now, that is a game-winning objective for Astralis. That is an objective that can absolutely take over the game and potentially give you that lifeline to find the victory.
Yeah, and now Vitality have to be very careful because you're going up against Dragon Soul plus Elder Dragon. And I think Astralis' dive pretty blooming good, to be perfectly honest with you. They've got so much engage, they've got a lot of burst damage and a lot of tankiness as well. So if Astralis, you know, if you can, let's say that WhiteKnight draws some people over to here and Astralis then want to pull the trigger on another side of the map, they can absolutely do that. And I think the Vitality are definitely going to have to respect it. But as it stands right here, Astralis is going to be grouping up, running down that top side. We'll see if Vitality can do much to stop it.
The turns have tabled once more in this game, and right now Astralis threatening an inhibitor turret on the top side. Now, they didn't lose inhibitor mid either, so they, you know, not exactly losing pressure in that lane, and now the inhibitor is starting to be focused. Astralis, in what has been a roller coaster of a game, like quite literally back and forth. The gold lead has almost never moved for about 3,000. They are knocking on the doors of, Jeskla, what are you doing, mate? You've done this so many times. You're giving me a heart attack, Jeskla.
Yeah, man, someone should suspend his license. He's driving you crazy. Like, this guy is just, he's just constantly going in. He's always trying to find these opportunities. To be fair to him, though, when he did it before, he was able to, you know, secure a dragon during that play. You know what? That's something I'm just really respecting right here about Astralis and the way that they're playing. It's a lot of confidence, you know, like, they're not afraid to walk up, they're not afraid to take these plays. And I do think, you know, when you're a team that struggled in the regular season, it can be very easy to lose that confidence. You know, you don't have trust in yourself, you're not sure about your limitations anymore, and you're just so afraid of losing that you just don't make anything proactive, and then you just become incapable of winning. But in this case, you know, maybe it's the fact that this game doesn't mean anything for Astralis, but the confidence this team has showed throughout this game has been really impressive.
And actually, someone that we haven't really touched on a huge amount, I think, because obviously WhiteKnight's Penta and some of these crazy plays by Jeskla have drawn attention away from him, but 3-1-12 for MagiFelix, only beaten in kill participation by Zanzarah himself, but he's had a good game on something that was early prioed in the draft. That Orianna was like a first rotation pickup for MagiFelix. And it has really paid dividends, giving him that better early laning phase, because he's come up big in some of these team fights.
He really has.
Oh, he's really fast. You weren't bloody kidding. That guy's an absolute speed monster. And they're going to try and take down Labrov. Now, immediately, promisq is a 4 versus 5. Now, WhiteKnight still on the front line. Look at how big this crocodile is. They take the kill onto Kai'Sa. How are Astralis still in this fight? I mean, it's a 5 versus 3. They are diving and chasing. MagiFelix still there. And it's going to be forcing Astralis back. Now, Zanzarah is clearing the wave, stopping any push coming through from Vitality. He's preventing the end.
Such an annoying champion, man, that Udyr. Look at him, but it's going to be a TP. Oh, yo, that's double TP. They're going for it. They're going for the end.
They're going for the back door. They're going for the... They're stopping Milica get there. Zanzarah is bare slapping him down, and now MagiFelix trying his best. They're going to exit through the top side turret. WhiteKnight and the Dissonance should be able to get them into the red side jungle. That was a little bit nutty, but this has been a nutty game from Astralis.
Let's talk about confidence. What about that call to try and go for the end right there? Vitality, though, they read that one. They were aware that it was happening, got the recalls off, and were able to defend it. Didn't even lose that Nexus tower, though. It's really, really low on health. Yeah, that fight, man, what's up with these fights this game? They're so back and forth. I feel like it's almost impossible to call, and I think it just depends who gets the better setup. Because I know in that last fight, Jeskla from Astralis definitely didn't get a huge amount done. He did get caught out of position. Labrov played that one very well, but it's going to be another Baron play. Zanzarah is looking around. Here we go.
He has got that ball on him as well. The distance is there. It's going to be a flash away from Labrov. The Gnar is wasted, and that is the trigger for promisq to go in. Now it's going to be secured by Vitality, but Astralis are winning the fight. Jeskla on the back line. They have got all the damage left alive, and MagiFelix still going with the Zhonya's has been popped. But look at those HP bars from Vitality. They are dropping as quick as their playoffs chances, and Astralis absolutely clean up at the Baron. This is a huge win. It means nothing to Astralis, but it means everything to Vitality. They have effectively turned Vitality's playoff dreams to dust at the very first hurdle, and it's off the back of that man on the crocodile going in, looking for the final kill as Zanzarah comes to slap his way to victory once more. That is a huge performance from a team that we counted down and out. Their Nexus turrets will drop, the Nexus will be exposed, and Astralis take their 4th win in the LEC.
10-0-6 for WhiteKnight on that Renekton, including 5 of those being in one team fight. The first pentakill we've seen here in the LEC. Reckless, upset, Caps. Who are these no-names? It's WhiteKnight. He is the pentakill god, obviously, as we all expected.
Oh, mate, I've got a little fun stat for you. The LEC team dig this up in the middle of the game. In a Riot League of Legends tournament, this is the 2nd time we've ever seen a pentakill in the history of League of Legends competition, and the other one was from the TCL winter from some star screens. So it's the 2nd time that we've ever seen a Renekton pentakill. Obviously the 1st time in the LEC, but oh my word, that was an absolutely huge game.
Yeah.
Look, we have a player of the game. We have a Kia player of the game vote here. I think you know who's going to be on the list. Clearly, there's going to be a man in the top lane in the form of WhiteKnight. But we have Zanzarah, who had a really good early game, and MagiFelix, who finally had a bit of attention given to him in the early laning phase and really did pop off.
Yeah, honestly, all 3 of these players played well. I think it's going to be hard to shine a light away from a certain somebody on that list. But yeah, Astralis as a team, they played really well.
Well, absolutely. I honestly had so much fun. My voice, I got a little bit overhyped. My voice has started to crack. But honestly, Foxy, it's been fantastic casting these first 2 games with you. And when we come back from the break, Schalke will be fighting for their lives in the race to playoffs. We'll see if they can stop a surging Fnatic when we return.
Fnatic is extremely good actually. Their weaknesses is like mid lane and top lane, I think. Like Niski and Buipo have their off games, which can lead to them losing.
And then here comes Broken Blade for the time being. Where is the boy Faker Dagger? There he is! He picks up the first kill of the fight.
Every player has like 1 or 2 comfort picks that they're really good at. Once you can throw them off of that, usually the things start tumbling down just a little bit.
Through Ryan's grabbing one in the meantime. Upset gonna grab another kill. Moving in now. Meanwhile on the side, though, Selfmade is so incredibly squishy, and Blue is out for blood.
That was my foot. Wait, I can't find the switch. It's on your left? Wait, I got it. Oh god, that's not good. What did you do?
I wasn't supposed to leak that. Oh no.
No, wait, look, if we react quick enough, we can just pretend that we revealed it on purpose.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
go. Damn it, just roll with it.
And let's bring the hype music.
LEC Finals, 10th and 11th of April. Tune in.
Welcome back to the LEC as Astralis took down Vitality with style, and for the very first time in the LEC history, we have a pentakill on the Crocodile. WhiteKnight, thank you so much for joining me today. I guess it's no surprise if I tell you that you won the player of the game with more than 85% of the votes. So let's talk about this pentakill and the performance you had on Renekton today.
Thank you, Laure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I guess I just had a good game, you know. Everyone has these sometimes. Yeah, I mean, of course, like, I was really happy about it, and it was the first pentakill I think I ever got in competitive games, so it's nice to like end the split at least with a good game.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a good way to end the split for you guys, and you had an amazing performance, as I said, but it must have been weird for you to go into this Super Week knowing that playoffs were no longer an option. So tell me about the mindset and preparation going into these 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a bit sad that we cannot go to playoffs anymore, but I guess our mindset mostly coming into this week was just to have practice for Summer Split, and so we're taking all these games extremely serious. We're playing them as if we just to win every game, just as a practice for Summer Split, basically.
That is a great mindset to have, and I want to believe that usually in difficult situations is the time where you learn the most and you take the most of learnings. First off, do you agree with this statement? And is there anything you'll be able to take from this spring experience to translate it to a better performance in summer?
Yeah, for sure. Tough times are always the times where you learn the most. And we, of course, here at Astralis have had some tough times. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, we will just bring this into Summer Split and hopefully be a playoff contender in the summer. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. We saw some great things from you actually during the past few weeks. So obviously, I think you'll be able to translate that in summer. But I'm looking at the last 2 games. You have SK and MAD. Is there anything you want to try or, I don't know, do on stage during these last 2 games? Not to spoil anything, of course, but do you have any goals for these last games?
Personally, I don't really have any goals. I mean, of course, I'm gonna like just focus on my own game, and we'll try our hardest to win. And but yeah, like I think I'm pretty happy with my gameplay the last few weeks in general. And yeah, I mean, it's just I can always improve. You know, I'm still learning a lot every day in practice. So yeah.
You have the right mindset, and I really hope that you'll be able to have a performance that makes you proud to wrap up this spring season. But WhiteKnight, again, congrats on the pentakill today, and congrats on the victory against Vitality.
Thank you so much, Laure.
You're welcome, and we're going to take a short break, and we'll come back in a few minutes with Fnatic versus Schalke 04. Stay tuned.